Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, people. Hello and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO. It's just your footy debate today. Myself and Rory. PGMOL released the audio thing. There's a lot in it that we can talk about Arsenal and Declan Rice. I know that Arsenal have won the game against Spurs, and now the red card doesn't matter because Arsenal won the game. However, there are a lot to unpack in that video. There's a lot to unpack in what Howard Webb said and Arsenal being treated differently or what happened in that game. That is my opinion. That is just my personal opinion. But big up everybody that is here. We'll talk about that. We'll talk also about Martin Odegaard and the conspiracy theory that is happening that Martin Odegaard will be missing for a long time, longer than 3 weeks, as they said. And also, Merino is coming back sooner than expected. That is the rumor that is going around, actually, since he's out to the cast. And also, Erling Haaland at Manchester City, who scored more than anyone else in the league, including the club. So Erling Haaland is top scorer, and then all the clubs in the Premier League. Does that mean that Erling Haaland is the key to just Manchester City? You stop Erling Haaland, you stop Manchester City. Inter are going to play, of course, today, Manchester City at the Etihad. I'll be doing a watch along for that. It will be crazy. You got to tune into that. But listen, we'll talk about this. And also, should Arsenal rest some players, or do they have the privilege to rest players on Thursday against Atalanta away? Arsenal go to Atalanta away and then go to the Etihad away after. I want everyone to do me a favor. We need the likes to go up. The algorithms aren't our friends right now, so hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes right off the bat. So hit that like button underneath the live chat. It's myself and Rory. People have missed Rory. I've not known when was the last time Rory was on the channel, actually.
It was a while ago. It must have been before I went on holiday. So it was, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago nearly.
Yeah, that's after the red card. That's after the red card.
Yeah. I needed a break.
Listen, hit that like button. And guys, Did you see the PGMOL or whatever thing that they released?
Yeah. I didn't watch
What did
all
you
of it.
think about it?
To be honest, that show pisses me off because it's so Arsenal fans, including myself, had finally like got over that. Right, we'd beaten Spurs in the North London derby. We'd stewed on it for the entire international break. We'd finally let it go, and then this stupid show brings it back up again and just winds everyone up again. And then people will be like, "Oh, I can't believe Arsenal fans are still complaining about it." And it's like, yeah, because they've just brought it up again. So yeah, that show is genuinely the most pointless show I've ever seen because no one actually interrogates Howard Webb. It's just bullshit that we're fed, and they never actually suggest that a decision is wrong. So it's completely.
He did say that he should have been booked, Joao Pedro, though.
Yeah, but he didn't really care about it, and they didn't bring up any of the other like what I wanted to be put to him when he says the referee has no choice. I wanted it to be put to him 20 other times that weekend. The referee chose not to book a player for doing the same thing. So how is it not a choice? That's all. If he explains that, fine. But there's no one there holding him accountable. So it's just a pointless show, in my opinion.
Can I tell you something? Do you know what stood out to me? I'm gonna say something here that people didn't realize. In that video, the VAR are telling him that Rice kicked the ball. Yellow card offenses are not subject to VAR. They can't advise him to give Declan Rice a second yellow, but they did. Yeah. And that is wrong by itself. You cannot advise the referee to give a second yellow. If he missed it, he missed it. That is what it is. And also, and I'm going to say this, I actually watched it again and again and again and again. Bro, Veltman kicked Declan Rice, not the ball. His foot was too high, and they never picked on it. It was very obvious that he's going to kick Declan Rice, not to play the ball. The fact that Declan Rice moved the ball, that is maybe a second yellow, but he literally kicked him. That game could have changed. My point about this is that if I'm looking at it now, and I looked at it many times, Veltman could have got a red card as well. You kicking the player has nothing to do with giving Declan Rice the yellow card. I watched it again and again and again. I think the VAR advising him to give Declan Rice a second yellow, that is against the law, 100%. And not seeing Veltman kicking Declan Rice, you're just turning a blind eye on it. You're just choosing not to because it was very obvious. I know that people are going to say, oh, the referees did this, the referee did that. This could have changed the game. Arsenal could have had 3 points in that game. They could have. And I'm watching this again, and listen, we have to be honest. Like, I watched it again, and Veltman should have had the record. Do we think Arsenal are treated differently? They might. They might actually be treated differently. I don't know why, though. And by the way, I'm not about the conspiracy theory in the Premier League in terms of like Arsenal treated differently and the victim mentality. But again, like it was the Gabriel, the ball went out. There was an angle last season that they showed that the ball went out. Gabriel push, and no, it wasn't a push and everything. Come on now, he couldn't wait. Oh no, he put me in the wrong place. No, he didn't, because Veltman kicked him as well. You could have given Veltman a red card. That is my opinion.
And they didn't even it was the fact that they didn't even discuss the fact that, okay, firstly, Veltman had already played the ball. Like the quick free kick, he kicked it into the back of Rice to start with. So he'd already taken a quick free kick from where the free kick actually was. And then the ball is moving when he goes to kick it anyway.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The ball is moving. It won't matter when you kick the ball. Okay, in the law, okay, for example, if the ball is moving and someone kicks the ball away from the free kick, it's not about delaying the restart. It's you are kicking the ball away after the whistle has been blown. Does that make sense? Like that is beside the point. And Howard Webb was clear about this, that was besides the point. That was clearly beside the point.
But then Veltman had already taken a quick free kick, right? When he kicked it into the back of Declan Rice in the first place, from where the free kick actually was.
No, but to be honest, all I'm saying is that Declan Rice was treated like they couldn't wait to give him a red card.
Yeah, that's what it feels like a lot. And that's the one thing I've said before. Like when Michael Oliver sent Gabriel Martinelli off for 2 yellows in the same phase of play. Like that was another occasion where it was like he has to be desperate to send him off there. I remember a few years ago, Granit Xhaka got sent off for a foul on the halfway line that was just a tactical foul. Like there was covering players. Yeah, he lunged at him from behind, but it was just one of those where, again, I've never seen a red card for that sort of foul since. And it's like, how many occasions do we have it where we turn around and we say, yeah, the referee was desperate to give a red card before we.
Do you believe it's Arsenal? Okay, I'm gonna be controversial here for the people. Okay, do you believe it's Arsenal or it's just Manchester City?
It's difficult, like,
because Liverpool fans say, okay, we were treated the same last season. McAllister, that penalty with Michael Oliver, for me that was blatant penalty, especially in VAR era. That was blatant.
Yeah.
But do you think it's Arsenal or it's just against Manchester City? Kovacic record as well.
I don't know. It could be a bit of both. I definitely think that there is a clear difference with, like, you're not that. If that's Rodri, he's not getting sent off. You cannot convince me in any world that Rodri's getting sent off if he does the same thing. So yeah, maybe it's more of a City thing. But
there was the thing that I think Yuri tweeted that, or someone tweeted this about the conflict of interest, and I had this discussion with Martin, Arsenal fan, about the Emirates thing and them getting paid 20K and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is the case. The reason why I don't believe that, Rory, is that it wouldn't have been that obvious because they go to the Emirates, they get paid, and then they come back and ref the Premier League. It would have been different. Like, I don't believe that the Premier League are idiots to the point that there is no conflict of interest. There has to be no conflicts of interest.
But like, there is. I don't think so. So some people think that they're like paying Michael Oliver to go and referee out there, and that it's like a direct right. We're paying you this, so you have to give us favourable decisions in the Prem. I don't think that's the case. But there has to be an unconscious bias where you're going, I'm refereeing Man City. The two most powerful people at Man City are the same people that are paying me to go out indirectly to referee these games. If I piss them off, are they going to find other referees to go and referee those games? Like, I feel like there has to be an unconscious bias there to some extent of, I don't want to piss these people off, right?
Yep.
Because they do. They get, Michael, if you're getting paid 20 grand to go and referee one game over there, that's like, I don't know, like a quarter of what they earn for just refereeing in the Prem in a whole season. So I think it has to be looked at, but it won't be.
Let's talk about the football then, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Come on, let's get to 200 likes. The like button is underneath your live chat, people. Hit that like button. We've got over 200 people here. We need the likes up a little bit because it helps the show. Come on, hit that like button, people. In terms of the football, though, Martin Odegaard, I am suspecting he's injured for a long time. Can you cope without him? Do you think Arsenal can cope without him? In terms of, like, yes, you played defensive against Spurs. Yes, you played counter-attack. Do you think you can cope for like 2 months or something like that? Because if this injury is what I'm expecting, right, from, like, they haven't even released anything yet. And if this ankle ligament is destroyed for like 2nd degree or something, it will be 2 months before he comes back to play football. It might be after the international break. Do you think Arsenal can cope, though?
I mean, yeah, I think we can to an extent. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a massive blow, and like you said, I think the way that we've communicated the injury, it's either this is some mad mind game and he's going to be playing on Sunday, or they know it's a big injury, but because of how big this week is for us with Spurs, Atalanta, and then City, they don't want to release that like negative news and like demoralize the fan base during this week. And assuming that is the case, yeah, we're probably looking at like maybe 8 weeks without him. Maybe he comes back after the 3rd international break. And the thing is, actually against City, I don't think it's too bad, because I think the way that we would have set up away at City anyway, you don't necessarily need Odegaard, because I think it'll be the same as we did against Spurs with a double pivot and Trossard in front. So, like, yes, we're probably slightly less creative. For the City game, I don't think it makes a huge difference. The difference it'll make is in the games where we come up against teams that sit in a low block and we're trying to break them down. And Martin Odegaard is a player that will do that. And yeah, not having him is a huge blow. What we don't know is, can Ethan Nwaneri step up? Like, that is the big thing.
I don't think Nwaneri is the answer, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be Nwaneri. You need someone else. You need Mikel Merino. You need a new outlet. You need someone that is creative. I don't think Nwaneri can be the guy.
Well, to an extent he has to be. Like we got rid of Fabio Vieira, we got rid of Smith Rowe. They would have been the two options that would normally have replaced him. So it's either trying to play Trossard there, who is creative.
Maybe he needs to change the plans, though.
Well, potentially, yeah, but that means changing our system, which has worked so well, for the next 2 months.
But you change the system anyway. Arsenal play a completely different system, like here and there. It's not like Arsenal have a set system that they play.
No, it's not. But
it comes from the side sometimes, long ball, behind the defense, all this stuff.
Our biggest attack is our right hand side, right? The partnership of White, Odegaard, Saka is 100% where most of our creativity. Except take Odegaard out of that, and that dynamic breaks down. We even saw it against Spurs. I thought Saka had a really good game, especially defensively, but he was 100% far less involved than when we had Martin Odegaard playing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so do you change away from that system, and do you accept that Saka's going to be slightly less involved, or do you just try and replace Odegaard like for like? And Nwaneri is the only player that can do that.
I'm looking at the Arsenal system and I'm like, there has to be a different guy. It's not Nwaneri. It cannot be the youngster relying on him. And if Merino comes, because he's too young to put that much pressure on him.
Is
he 17 years old?
17. Yeah, he came on in the final 10 minutes of the North London derby and looked unfazed. So
he looked okay. He didn't look.
I wouldn't. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't start him away at City, but I'd start him at home against Leicester or against Southampton.
I wouldn't start the guy at all. No, I would just ease him in the team.
Bukayo Saka began starting games by the time he was 18.
It's a different time. You weren't challenging for the league at that time.
No.
You need to win every single game at the current moment. You aren't like. So that's the point. I wouldn't put 200 like 17 years old. To be honest, I wouldn't put a 17 years old.
The next alternative would be Merino, but he's injured as well. So okay, maybe he comes back a bit more quickly than Odegaard does. But
there is Rice, Havertz, and Thomas Partey.
And then you can try Havertz playing as the right central midfielder. We've not, to be fair, we've literally not seen that yet, which is a bit surprising.
And for the people that say there is no harm, no, there is a harm. You cannot afford to lose another 2 points.
No, I agree.
Like this notion that we need to try, it's the only thing. No, I disagree. I think Arsenal need to stamp to actually get in. Arsenal need now to get into the rhythm of winning games. In the next games, after Man City, you need to win every game probably until the international break.
Well, yeah.
Or even after.
We do. But you're speaking as if there is a like-for-like replacement to Odegaard other than...
No, but there is not even Nwaneri is not a like-for-like replacement.
He's the closest we've got, though. So...
Really? You think Nwaneri is that creative like Martin Odegaard? You're really doing Martin Odegaard a disservice here.
No,
17 years old.
No, I look at the rest of the squad, and I see no other creative outlet. Like maybe Trossard, but even as a right central midfielder, we've not seen that from him. That's if we had Fabio Vieira still, I'd be saying probably start Fabio Vieira and see if Nwaneri can come off the bench and look better than him. But we don't.
I haven't watched the kid play other than these minutes and some of the friendlies before the season. Just to be honest with you. But by the way, just let me just say. Kai Havertz at Leverkusen played the creative outlet multiple times, and he was good.
Mm-hmm.
He played under the striker. He played as the second striker. So that is, I'm looking at Arteta, and I'm like, utilize Odegaard to that extent. Play him behind Trossard or play him behind Martinelli. And play him behind Jesus. You know what I mean? He can make the late runs. You can utilize Gabriel Jesus now. You have an attacking force at the current moment. I'm looking at the forward line of Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, and Martinelli, and I think that is not bad. On paper, that is not bad.
No,
Rice, Thomas Partey, you can allow these other 4 guys to cook. Am I
agree.
Wrong?
No, I think it's an option.
Why not?
I also like Nwaneri. And I think he can start games. Well, Lamine Yamal starting games at 17.
I'm not, bro. If Nwaneri was that talented, he would have been starting at the current moment. He's good,
But you can't. No, but you can't say you wouldn't start. Like, there has to be the point where he starts starting games, right? So you can't say he would be starting games if he was good enough until he starts starting games.
Cup games.
Well, yeah, but he's that
okay.
young.
In my opinion, start him against Atalanta and see how it is.
Well, I kind of said that because Atalanta's a weird one. It's a big game, but it's like the consequences.
But it's not really big. But that's what I say about the Champions League. Like for me, like the Man City game is the same. I feel the same. Yeah, it's a big game, but if I lose, who cares? You know what I mean? There's 7 games.
Yeah.
That's what I because you only need. By the way, you only need to win 5 to be in the top 8. That they did the math.
Yeah.
They did the math. They said you only need to win 5. So
and
maybe draw 1.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean the other option is that we start him. We've got Bolton Wanderers in the Carabao Cup next midweek, so maybe that's why give him his first start. But.
Yeah, listen, but Arsenal at the end, if you look at the Man City team and the way they play now, it looks like it is stopping Erling Haaland, and you have the capability to stop that. You stop Erling Haaland, I think you have every chance of winning the game against Manchester City. We'll see today. To be honest. We'll see today if Manchester, if today Inter play Manchester City and if we are able to stop Haaland and Man City don't score, that is the footprint. That is the what is it called? The not the footprint, the blueprint to beat Manchester City. Yeah, right. Like that is the thing. Like
and literally last season we played against Man City 3 times. Haaland started all 3 games. He didn't have a shot on target across 3 games. Like. We have figuge out how to stop Erling Haaland. We did it 3 times in a row last season.
You have the best centre back pairings in the league, or probably arguably in the world at the current moment. So
Gabriel sits on his back and tries to win the duels, and if Gabriel loses the duel, William Saliba sweeps up. It's we figured that out, and so it's on City to find a solution.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? Do you believe that a lot of people have said that the defense now of Arsenal relies so much on everyone being compact? Gabriel and Saliba, when they opened up, they will make mistakes. Do you believe that? Or do you believe both of them can just defend in spaces? Because you know that Man City might not attack you the whole game. Like Man City have this new thing of they drop deep. They lure you out of your area.
Yeah. I think it's a weird one because there's this... like this weird narrative that Arsenal just sit deep and that's how we defend. But last season, at least, we averaged a higher line than any other team. Like that is.
Did you see Rio Ferdinand calling Mikel Arteta Mikel Pulis the other day?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Because it's not even like we're sitting on the edge of our box. We're just sitting in a slightly deeper block when we go away from home to big teams, and it works. So. Yeah, in terms of the spaces, if we give those spaces, we leave ourselves more vulnerable. And we've seen it this season, right? We saw it against Wolves. Wolves had a couple of good chances because we left gaps in behind. Brighton, not so much because we'd gone down to 10 men and kind of defended pretty steeply. And Aston Villa, there were gaps there as well. So, naturally you leave gaps, but everyone does, right? City leave plenty of them.
I don't think City's defense is that good in this season.
No.
They chopped and changed many times. They chopped it and changed. But listen, to be honest with you, I'm thinking about Manchester City this season. They are still the strongest team in the league, and they are. I think they are unstoppable in terms of playing 18 out. I think Man City, apart from Liverpool and Arsenal, to be honest, they might win every single game, home and away. That's how. Why not? No, I think so.
See, I disagree. I don't know. At the start of the season, don't get me wrong, Haaland has been immensely impressive. But outside of that, that Brentford game, they could have been 3-0 down inside 10 minutes. Genuinely, if Brentford had finished properly, they could have been 3-0 down. And I just look at it and I think they will drop points. If they're as open defensive. Now, okay, they've not been starting Rodri, and maybe when Rodri comes back in, that just makes them more secure. But I don't know. I think we did this at the start of last season.
That was my point.
Last season. They
City, by the way, still City haven't played their strong starting 11 at the current moment.
But
right? Rodri hasn't started a game yet.
Yeah.
Foden hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish is getting integrated back and is going back. It's
Mhm.
Savinho, Doku, Bernardo. Like, I want to know what is City's strongest lineup to start actually judging them. However, I believe actually Manchester City this season will not do this thing where they're going to just use use the same team every game. They will change. They will play Kyle Walker. He will play Stones. He will play Rodri. He will play Kovacic. He might play Gundogan. Like, I don't know City starting 11. And I think they have the best squad in the league at the current moment. Like, at the current moment, they do have the best squad in the league. Like, and by far, to be honest.
But I remember this time, not even this time last season, but City won the opening 6 games in the Premier League last season, and people were saying the same sort of stuff. And then they went on that streak where they picked up, like, I can't remember what it was, like 1 point out of 9 or something. So, yeah, like, right now they look very good. But again, an injury or a red card or whatever to Erling Haaland, what's their solution to Erling Haaland this season? Because last season it was Julian.
What do you mean? What do you mean the solution?
Well, if they lose Erling Haaland for any amount of time, even for a game, we don't know what the solution to that problem is, because it will be presumably a false 9, given that they've got no other strikers.
Do you doubt Pep Guardiola to find a solution?
No, I'm sure he will, but there's no guarantee that that solution works. So all I'm saying is I don't think they're going to win 34 games and potentially 38 games if they beat Liverpool and Arsenal as well.
I believe, and I clip this, guys, on today. I believe City will win at least 32 games.
See, I don't.
That is 96 points apart from the draws. I think they will win 32 games this season.
So realistically, assuming that they then didn't lose the other 6 and they drew a few of them, you think they're on Centurion pace again?
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't. I think they've done well to get the full points so far. I don't think they've looked that good. I think Chelsea created problems for them. Again, if Nicholas Jackson could finish his dinner, Chelsea would have scored. Like,
I don't believe why people are. I don't believe why. By the way, I believe lately football fans, or maybe I go too far with my statements.
I think that's it. Yeah.
By the way, it's either I go too far with my statements, like I'd go too far with Liverpool, with Arsenal, with Manchester City, or I feel people lately are afraid to call it what they see. City last season, not a good season, got 92 points, guys, right? Julian Alvarez, yes, he played the most minutes, but a lot of people saying that he was shoehorned, right? They did not have a replacement for Rodri. They had Kevin De Bruyne was injured the majority of the year. And hear me out here, because I am being logical here. And I want to, Rory, you can absolutely debunk my points here. And I know, and I want you to remove the hopium, and I want you to be objective.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne was injured the majority of the season. Erling Haaland was injured for 2 months. They didn't have Gundogan as a replacement for Rodri. Kovacic was still getting integrated in the team. Doku was getting integrated in the team. Jack Grealish didn't have the greatest season, right? Rico Lewis was still a youngster. Okay. Now, Julian Alvarez left. Man City at the current moment look much better than last season. So I am within my right to sit here and say, and Erling Haaland has started better than last season, to say that Manchester City look better than the team that started last season. Okay?
Okay.
So I am saying that Man City will get more points than last season. Man City got 92 points last season. So I am thinking 95 or higher this season. Is that not logical? Is that not logical?
To an extent. I mean, the first thing is I'm not convinced that they're playing that much better now than they were in the first 6 games last season. Because I remember those first 6 games last season. And even though Haaland wasn't scoring, we kept having the debates.
91, apologies. Okay, I didn't make a mistake in the Quran or the Bible. 91, 92, you get the point, Fraser. Yeah. But I appreciate you correcting me, because I don't know every team's points, but yes.
For me, I just think, I look at games like where they could, based on the way that they're playing, have troubles. Away at Aston Villa, away at Newcastle, away at Tottenham. Maybe not Tottenham. But even away at United, you know how United just somehow seemingly get results from them like more than they should. I just
You think
think
Liverpool will smack United? You don't think Man City will smack United home and away?
well, you would think they would, but you would have
100.
thought that they would. Yeah,
But
but what I'm saying is, it's not
logically
always.
speaking, Rory, logically speaking,
But
yes,
football, okay, do
it
you know
will
what
be
it
an
is? Do you know what it
outlier.
is? Do you know what it is? Football isn't logical.
I
That is
100% agree.
over a 38 game season. Football is not logical.
We are together. We're together in this.
Nice.
But we cannot do the predictions based on the illogical thing. We have to do the predictions based on the logical stuff.
But logically, football is illogical.
Oh my God. But
That's
so
true.
How can we analyze football then?
We can't.
We can.
Like,
that's why we're here. That's why we're YouTubers. That's why we're.
But you can analyze it on a game by game basis, right? So you could say logically, City will beat Inter Milan tonight.
Yes.
But if I'm looking over the course of a season, unless I'm going to be correct every single game of every single season,
nobody's correct.
Exactly.
That's why football is unpredictable. But all we can do is predict.
But going into every single game for the rest of the season, logically, other than maybe Arsenal, logically we'll be saying Man City will win that game.
And logically, do you think the same
but
for
logically
Arsenal?
That won't happen because we know it's not how football works.
Do you believe that is for Arsenal as well?
Well, yeah, you could say that again. Logically, Arsenal would win every game other than against Man City and Liverpool. Logically, we'd have beaten Brighton at home, but that doesn't. You don't count for the fact that Chris Kavanagh is going to want to be the star of the show and send Declan Rice off. So then logic goes out the window.
I get your point.
You know, they go away to us. Okay, maybe not with Man City.
Can I ask you something? When you do your predictions in the season, do you do it based on logic or based on football is illogical?
Sometimes I do it based on a vibe. So, for example, sometimes I'll be like, well, logically, X team's going to beat Y team. But I've just got a feeling today that that's not going to happen. You know?
Okay, so for example, logically, guys, there's over 400 people here. We really need to get this show to 300 likes live. Like, guys, stop what you're doing now and hit the like button, guys. Come on, guys, hit the like button. I need the algorithms back, right? There's 400 people here. So the like button will help the channel. Turn on the notification bell. If you say you solve football, it will prove you wrong. Okay, I hear you here. I hear what you're saying here. To be honest with you, I'm looking at Manchester City. I'm looking at Manchester City this season. I think they're stronger than last season. Do you look at Arsenal this season and think they are stronger than last season?
Yes, and yeah, I do.
Yes and no.
No, I was going to say and no, based on like the current situation with the squad because of injuries.
But that is the current situation now. Do you believe Arsenal are stronger than last season?
Long term, yes. For example, I don't think like last season, the thing that killed our season completely was that kind of end of December, start of January period.
Yes.
I think our squad is in a better place to handle that now than it was last season. I don't think we'll run out of gas halfway through the season. So, and I think we're playing better football as well. I think we've started this season playing better football.
Absolutely not, though.
We have. I think people forget how actually quite poor we were at the start of last season. Like, the big topic last season was Arsenal aren't playing fluid football. Arsenal aren't playing that well, but they're getting results. Like, opening day, we beat Forest 2-1. Could have easily drawn that game. We drew at home to Fulham. We weren't playing that well. Spurs at home even. People thought they outplayed us. Like, we didn't start last season well. I think we've started this season a lot more controlled. Winning away at Villa Park. Realistically, I feel like we should be on max points. It was only because Brighton we had.
By the way, you weren't better than Brighton in the game. Actually, you just weren't before the record. Even.
I think we were controlled. I think
and
that's
you weren't better than Aston Villa. Aston Villa should have been 2-0 up.
But they weren't.
Yeah, but they were
even
the
then.
team.
Even then, people say that. I don't even think that.
By the way, that's the same as I think City should have been 2-0 down. Very simple.
So, yeah, I think the Villa game actually got a bit because they had those two. Okay, they had those two massive chances, but like what were those actual chances?
One of them was
For
a mistake.
me-
Was the ball hit Gabriel and just fell to Ollie Watkins, who just shanked it.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other one was a long shot that took a massive deflection, came off the bar. Like, ultimately, the chance that we actually gave up there wasn't about, like, we were letting Onana shoot from, like, 25 yards. It was a comfortable save for Raya if it hadn't taken a deflection, which made it hit the bar. Like, that game, I felt like we actually did better than people think. But either way, yeah, I think we're a stronger team this season than last season.
Martin, where did we talk? Where we hated on City? I don't think we hated on City at all.
I think he's
In
talking about
terms
me only because I'm not willing
Why?
to just say that, because I don't think City are going to be Centurions again, basically.
Do people think that? Okay, people in the chat, yes or no? There's about over 400 people here. Do we think City will get 100 points? Yes or no? And be honest. Forget the hope. Forget the hope. Do we think City will get 100 points this season? Do you think City can get 100 points this season? Logically
can.
speaking.
They can. but I
More
don't think they
likely
will.
than not. More likely than not. You
No, I
think they
think-
will or no?
No, I think it's more likely they don't, based on the fact that they've only.
More likely they don't.
Yeah, based on the fact it's only ever happened once. I think it's more likely that they don't. I think it's more likely that they drop points unnecessarily in games that you wouldn't expect them to, just because of the way that football
They
goes.
have a deeper squad though.
Do they?
Oh, yes.
Do they?
Yes. We can go through the squad.
Yeah.
Okay. They have Rico Lewis now in the defense. Gavardiol is better now than last season because he's more integrated. I have the same energy for Declan Rice this season. He will be better. Havertz will be better this season. Right? They have Gundogan now. Kovacic is more. Matthias Nunes is more integrated. They have Savinho now. They have Oscar Bob. Right? Doku's more integrated. Right? Same as I have for Arsenal, by the way. I said Declan Rice should be better than last season. You got Timber, which didn't play last season. So that is a massive, massive boost for your defense. And we have seen how good he is, right? Calafiori. You as well, on paper, got a deeper squad than last season. Because by the way, I just watched the highlights of Man City game that you drew with Man City. Bro, Eddie Nketiah is such a donkey for Arsenal. It is unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah.
The kid had so many chances to create chances, and he completely was. I have no idea how Arteta kept relying. I would have played anyone up top other than Nketiah. The guy is so bad, bro. It is very bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a Crystal Palace player, isn't he? I think that's his level. But
that is Mateta is better than him, and I'm telling you this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though.
Rory,
I think
he was so bad for Arsenal last season.
No, I agree. I think that's why we were all happy to see him go, but also, he's a Hale ender, so we want the best for him. But I also think it's better having Mateta ahead of him. Like, he was leading the line for us. I think that was always the problem. Like, you could never go into a game with Eddie Nketiah leading the line thinking,
yes, of course,
that's a scary attack, right? So, yeah, there's that. But look, I think I do look at it. The one, and you just don't know, because you don't know how they would replace Haaland if anything happened. But the one thing I would look at is that 81% of their goals this season are scored by Haaland.
Yeah. I get. No. I said that. And on Nobbins, even I was talking to Nobbins. You weren't on the show the other day, and I was talking to Nobbins about this, and he said that for the first time, actually, our plans are built on Erling Haaland getting the chances in the 18. It is not that Erling Haaland is part of the team. It is like we need Erling Haaland on the ball in the 18, and we know he's gonna score. To be honest, so that is the thing. So I agree. Like, I think Erling Haaland, everything is built on him, but that is Erling Haaland. I believe that Pep Guardiola can make something happen. But I'm with you. If Erling Haaland is top, are they gonna get goals from somewhere else? Because Doku had 0 goals, 0 assists until this current moment. People don't realize this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Savinho, is he the one to get the goals? I don't know.
Yeah, I also think, like, I don't know, it felt like last season clubs had figured out how to handle Erling Haaland better. And then I don't know if they felt like, I mean, even though he was the golden boot winner.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense because he's scoring goals every game now, more. So how are people handling Erling Haaland better?
This is what I'm saying. I felt like last season they had figured out how to handle him better. And then this season, it's like they've forgotten it again. That's what I'm saying. Like the opportunities that he's been given in certain games this season, where he's left like one-on-one with a centre back on the halfway line, and all he has to do is spin them. Like situations like that, or he's given the room to run in behind. I just feel like, I don't know. A lot of the time, I felt like last season, teams just sat off him so much. They put two centre backs on him, and that stifled him a bit. And this season, I feel like they've not done that as much, which is strange.
Okay,
I think it's maybe because they're more occupied with Savia.
Martin is okay. So Martin, I just want to, because Martin is one of the panelists on the show, so I want to just to address this, Martin, so you don't think I'm ignoring you. Not once have I said City will get 100 points. I argued Rory saying that we ain't better the first 6 games when we are. I have watched every game, but Brentford could have been 2-0 up, but Villa couldn't have been 2-0 up.
Oh, I hear what
Is there a difference?
I personally think that City have looked more vulnerable this season than they did in the first 6 games last season. I think they looked last season. Until they dropped points, they didn't look like they were going to drop points. So look, he's entitled to his opinion. It's got nothing to do with Arsenal. We're not talking about Arsenal. We were directly talking about how well we think City will do.
I actually still think I disagree with you. By the way, I think City are fine. Because I picked Arsenal to win the league until you didn't get a forward. Because I still think, and I'm going to take it back to Arsenal a little bit. And guys, there's almost 500 people here, and we're almost at 200 likes. So hit that like button. You see, you hit the like, we get more people watching. Here is the chance. 4 years in a row, and we're still watching people say City not going to win. Better squad, better manager, but they're still not going to win. Shaking my hand. City fan. Marco, thank you so much.
Who said City aren't going to win?
And that's the thing. I don't think anyone have said
they're not going to win.
I don't think that anyone now can sit and say that Arsenal are favorites to win the league other than HUSAM. HUSAM is the only one that thinks that for some reason. He thinks that Arsenal are favorites to win the he thinks that City are favorites, but he thinks Arsenal win the league because their defense is the best defense in the league. That's what he thinks. But I was going to bring it back to Arsenal and say something about I actually wanted to discuss something with you. I know you don't have a lot of time. No, we have some time. We still have some time. I actually wanted to discuss something with you about the superstar factor at Arsenal. The player that can carry the team if Saka is... I believe you have one, which is Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has proven, and for everyone that is doubting Bukayo Saka, shut up now. Just shut up now. Shut for real. In the first game, a goal and assist. In the second game, an assist. The guy is unlocking, is doing everything for Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
So if it's not Bukayo Saka, if we have the same energy for Erling Haaland, you said if teams stop Bukayo Saka, and we have seen it before, right? Now when teams stop Bukayo Saka, do you believe there is anyone else? Do you believe Arsenal have another X factor? Like there's Kevin De Bruyne, there is Foden, there is Haaland, there is Rodri. Do you believe there is an X factor? Every time I'm watching Arsenal, I'm thinking, nobody's scared of Havertz. Not that much. No one's scared of Martinelli or Trossard. When I say that, I'm having the same energy, for example, for Savinho or Doku. You know, no one makes their plan to stop Doku or Savinho. Like, you get my point, right?
Yeah. No, so, I don't think there is I don't think there is another star attacker. I think we have a good level of attacking players that will generally get you goals. But yeah, if we are going to lose out this season, I do think it will again come down to dropping points in games because we don't have that player that's just going to grab that goal out of nowhere. That so often you see Man City.
You mentioned yesterday Gyökeres in January.
I've wanted Gyökeres, since January, but and people had their doubts because at that point, he's had a good season at Coventry, gone to Sporting, started unbelievably at Sporting, but he was effectively like 6 months into a good season. But yeah, he's continued it since then, and I don't think it was just I don't think it was a fluke season or anything like that. So he was the one that I wanted. But no, I think.
Do you think your defense can compensate for this?
That's what I was going to say. I think obviously when you talk about star factors, when you talk about X factor players, naturally you just think about attacking players, right?
Yes.
Our X factor is our defense, like the Saliba, Gabriel partnership, and then specifically Saliba. Like that's an X factor for us. It's just whether or not, like, you still have to score goals to win games. And so, you look at the game against Spurs. We win that game because of our defense. We know we keep a clean sheet. We win set pieces. Gabriel scores a goal. Gabriel scored more winning goals than any player in the Premier League as a defender since he joined the league. So that's it. But can you rely on that over the course of a 38-game season? And until someone else in the squad proves that they can step up. I mean, Trossard's the closest. Trossard has scored a lot of important goals for us. But outside of that, like, yeah, you're right. I don't think we have a player. But again, until someone does that and we win the league, no one will say that we do have those sorts of players. So that's the opportunity that they've got.
AD here is saying our main starting 11 hasn't been on the pitch together. He's Man City fan. That is the thing as well. Arsenal. What do you mean?
We've not had our main 11 on the pitch yet.
You did? What do you mean?
When?
Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, White, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, or Trossard.
I think Merino will be considered in the same way that people didn't say that Timber would have been a starter for us last year because he got injured for the whole season, and then they were like, "Well, Timber's not a starting player. You've never seen him play."
You said Calafiore is going to start and Timber is going to be the bench player.
I think you can consider Timber as the starting left back, but I think Merino is or will be a starting player. I think it'll be Rice, Merino, Odegaard. And given the way that they've been playing, it wouldn't surprise me if Sterling ended up being the starting left winger for us. But
if Sterling is a starting winger for us, and you have Kai Havertz up top, I think you're doomed.
I love how you said for us. Then you're an Arsenal fan.
For you.
You said
I said for us. Come on now.
You let the mask.
A lot of people now are labeling me as an Arsenal fan for some reason because I want Arsenal to win the league. Wait until Liverpool surpasses Arsenal. I'm a Liverpool fan at that time, and people think I am absolutely like I hate City. I don't. I said it before. I can't do content in February when Man City are 10 points ahead. I just can't. I can't do that.
I think that's the important part of the game on Sunday. If we lose and we go 5 points behind after 5 games, that's tough.
Yeah, bro. Do you think that would be very, very tough?
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, you're 5 points behind City after 5 games, and even after that game, I think the next 7 or 8 games, if you look at City's compared to ours, we've got the tougher run after that as well. It's more likely you're going to be even further behind than get closer. So yeah,
I'm getting the headache. I'm getting the headache. No, I can't. I can't live like this, Rory. I can't. Arsenal have to get something at the Etihad. Do you know it's so? I don't think you will for some reason. I don't think you will. I don't think you will. Eddie here is saying Rodri has only played 45 minutes this season, 4 out of 4 so far, and the only game we struggled was Brentford due to Pep's rotation the entire back 4. Haaland is more clinical. KDB is back to his best, and wingers are electric. Okay, I don't know how to respond to this, but if you put it this way, it is depressing a little bit. I get it. Would you say that? But in the same breath, which is Arsenal's response, is that, well, we haven't had Merino to start as well. I'm not saying that Merino is similar to Rodri.
The other thing is, City haven't had a tough game yet. Like, they got a Chelsea opening game of the season.
That was tough. That is tough.
Ish.
It is tough. Do you think you're going to go to Chelsea and win that easily? Not out of second gear.
I think we should, yeah. And bear in mind, I think Chelsea are likely going to get better as the season goes on. I think getting them game week 1 was quite a fortunate
lucky
thing.
And you got Villa at the beginning, and then you beat them at the beginning. So it's the same. But
who have they played? Ipswich, Brentford, and
Chelsea.
Yeah, they played one more.
So they played Brentford, Ipswich, Chelsea, and who else did they play? Can someone remind us? You played Spurs away and Aston Villa away. That by itself is just tough.
Yeah.
Like, that by itself is very tough. But that means in the second half of the season, you get an easier run.
Oh, West Ham.
West Ham away as well.
Yeah.
That's not an easy game, actually, with Ham away.
No,
On paper,
no.
that is not an easy game at all. And they made it look so easy, in my opinion. They made it look so easy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Declan Rice and saying that he's going to be a DM. Merino is going to be the left midfielder. I think it's going to take time, by the way. I think it's going to take time to integrate Merino, by the way.
Probably.
Ghost Nathan saying, we will win as long as you tell your actual team to break Haaland and KDB. What is your prediction for today, by the way, Mo? 2-1 Manchester City. That is my prediction. I'm being realistic and objective. I'm not shameless. I can sit and say we're going to win the game or draw the game. I think it is tough. Let me know when you have to go, by the way.
Yeah. I got probably like 15 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect, actually. You can just go 15 minutes then. I got Rory for extra 15 minutes. If you want to send comments, guys, let me know. If you want to send questions, let us know. So, KDB and Haaland, it's ridiculous, to be honest. Like, the combination is actually so tough like to break. Like, that is the thing. Like, you should have had Osimhen or Gyökeres or Tony or somebody, to be honest. Like,
of those three, Gyökeres is the only one that I would have wanted.
For the people that say, Mo, back your team. Guys, there is back your team and there is being deluded, right? There is back your team and there is deluded. You want me to back my team? Yes. Okay, we're going to go to the Etihad and win 3-1. Would you say that is objective? It's not objective. Okay, Rory, do you think you're going to win at the Etihad with Arsenal?
No, but I think we'll draw.
What is the most likely outcome of that game?
Draw.
A draw. You think going to the Etihad, you're going to get a draw, and that is the most likely outcome? Give me percentages.
I reckon 45% draw, 35% City win. No, 45% draw, 40% City win, 15% Arsenal win. Because I back us to keep a clean sheet.
You back yourself to keep clean sheet.
We've conceded 3 goals away from home in 2024. We kept the clean sheet at the Etihad earlier in 2024. I predict that we'll do it again. And we did that without Yuri and Timber.
Okay, can I ask you something? Do you think Arsenal will play a defensive game?
Yeah.
Guys, everyone in the chat, give me predictions for the game.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, 100%. We'll play
do you think you're going to play?
Tottenham.
Really?
Yeah, we'll have Partey.
Man City are not. Man City are not Tottenham.
No, but they don't need to be. It's not really about what Man City. We will sit defensively with Partey and Rice as a double pivot sitting in, maybe Trossard ahead of them, similarly to how we did against Spurs. And the plan will be keep a clean sheet and then try and score on the break or from a set piece. That's the game plan.
I actually believe this is the lineup. And hear me out, because here is the lineup, guys. It is going to be Timber. The back line is the same. It's going to be it's going to be Partey, Rice, Havertz, and it's going to be Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, and Martinelli.
Yeah, could be.
He's going to be that lineup is more offensive.
In a way, but it's also less offensive. It kind of is and it isn't, because Trossard in midfield is
Trossard in midfield is never going to work.
That's what we did against Spurs, though. Oh, you've disappeared. Hey, guys, it's just me. So, Papa Beard says, okay, here's my prediction, City 2 into 1. Do you know what? I think City might smash them. Oh, he's back.
No, something, the Chrome just crashed. So
oh, that's fine.
Right, I'm back. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, it's Chrome just crashed for some reason. So more about. Like, I'm here.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you were going through. Oh no, we were saying. So I think Trossard, because he's less like Kai Havertz in midfield will win duels. Against Spurs, Trossard was in midfield for us effectively. He ended up being a second striker when we went forward, but yeah, I think ultimately we'll play defensively. But people say park the bus.
Yeah, we ain't Spurs. So that is the thing. I actually agree with Martin here, to be honest. I don't think City will pepper you like what Spurs did. City play completely different now. When City lose the ball, they don't do the gung-ho, let's get the ball first time. Like, they don't do the Spurs thing. They just don't.
No, I know. But I'm
so they will let you play football. And it won't be like City last season when you're going to just sit deep and they're going to try to press you. you will have a chance to get out of the because
I
to
agree
get
with
at their
that.
goal.
I agree with that, but as soon as we lose possession, we will drop into a deep.
Same as them. Same as them.
Yeah, that's why I can see it being a stinky 0-0 again. Like that is, if I had to put a bet on one single like actual scoreline, it'll be 0-0 because we'll go there. A draw for us is far better than a draw for them, and a draw for us, I think I think there's more pressure on us not to lose because if we do lose, City go 5 points ahead, right? But I also think there is a pressure on Man City to beat us because if they don't, that's 4 games in a row that they fail to beat us. And I don't know if Guardiola's ever gone 4 games in a row against the same manager without winning. So I think there's an element of pressure there for them.
Can I ask you something? Do you think Sterling should start? Let me do the super chat, a couple of them. Okay, here's my prediction: City 2-1 Inter. I'll be gutted. I'll be gutted to do that. To be honest, Papa Bear, but I appreciate you. That's my prediction. My hope is Inter to actually. I think we can get a draw. We can get a draw. Ghost Nathan is saying, I think Arteta should start training Zinchenko to be Odegaard replacement. He's a bowler and have insane passing accuracy. Think about it. Do you agree?
No, I think we should start. I think we should start preparing to just sell Zinchenko. Because Arteta doesn't like him in midfield. He's made it clear. He knows that Zinchenko is a midfielder. He has never once opted to try and play Zinchenko in midfield because he's not physical enough. And that's always the problem. Zinchenko also can't play more than 300 minutes in a month without getting a calf injury. So, yeah, the preparation is to sell Zinchenko for as much money as possible, in my opinion.
That is your opinion. Do you believe Raheem Sterling should get a start in the game against Man City? Because you remember, you play Thursday and Sunday. That is not easy. And you travel to Italy. And from England to Italy is not like, it's not a bus.
No.
And it's not a half an hour flight. And it's not an hour flight. It is more.
Yep. So, no. I think Sterling starts tonight and I think Martinelli starts against City.
You think Sterling starts tomorrow?
Sorry, tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
And then Martinelli starts against City.
Do you believe Sterling is going to play a big role in Arsenal this season or not?
Yeah.
Why I can't comprehend this. Like, I can't comprehend that he's going to be I believe he's going to be the first thing he did in the game when he came on in the last game is literally just lose the ball. Is dribble when he didn't need to dribble and just instead of passing the ball, which is similar to what he did at City. I don't like Sterling. I am, as a football player, I don't like Sterling at all. And I don't think he's a good player. And I think his decision-making is horrific, to be honest, on the pitch. If you think I hate Havertz, for people that think I don't hate Havertz, if you think I have an agenda or something against Havertz, it's 10 times Sterling. It is. Because I believe Havertz can be good. I've seen Havertz be amazing, actually. Not only good. Havertz in Bayern Leverkusen, I was a massive fan of the kid when he was 20 and 21 years old. I've never been a fan of Raheem Sterling. So I think Raheem Sterling doesn't suit Arsenal. He doesn't work hard anyway. And he makes horrific decisions. He never did.
Well, he didn't at Chelsea. I think he worked relatively hard at City. He must have done.
The reason why Man City fans hated him is that because he never worked hard. He never tracked back. He never worked for the team. And
I think he did, because Arteta wouldn't like him as a player if he didn't do that, because that's like one of his basic.
I think it was an opportunistic signing.
Well, it was. We're paying him we're paying barely anything for him, so it made
nothing.
No sense.
You're literally paying $100K a week for him, and you can just send him back.
Yeah, we're paying him less than we were paying Eddie and Nketiah, so it's no Skinnafanos. But look, I think do you know what the best thing I think he'll do is come on in the 75th minute and win penalties.
He dies. There's VAR. It's VAR. He used to win penalties. It's VAR now.
But he still wins them even with VAR. Or he did it. Well, he's not done that in an Arsenal shirt yet. So the way that we get refereed, maybe it'll be slightly different. But
it will be slightly different.
That's what I can see him doing. But no, he gets in the right places. He'll get tap-ins. He can sometimes fire off.
He's the biggest tapping guy at City. You know that, right? Like he is.
But we've needed that at times. The amount of times where we get the ball into that area and there isn't the person there to tap it away. So I don't mind it.
You don't mind Raheem Sterling? I think Arsenal paying 100K.
Yeah, paying 100K a week. I think it's far more important that we start that we get the best version of Martinelli back.
Yeah, that is a thing, bro. Like I said that. And by the way, and I'm gonna say this for the people in the chat. There's a lot of guys. There's over 500 people here, and we're almost at 300 likes. So you are making the dream happen. We can get to 300 likes live. There's over 500 of you here, and if you haven't hit the like from your account, your brother's account, your sister's account, your mom's account. Hit the like button. It helps the channel and the show massively. You guys don't understand. Martinelli. People are piling on Martinelli now for no reason. I believe if Saka didn't get the assist from the corner, Martinelli actually was better than Saka last game. Both of them did the defensive work really, really well because Martinelli was helping Timber big time. But Martinelli created a chance for Havertz. It was unlucky that Havertz a little bit missed it. You remember that header? Yeah, Martinelli had the chance. He missed it. Yes, fine. But Martinelli would not have been in that position. Martinelli is getting better. Arsenal fans, for some reason, are starting to scapegoat Martinelli all the time now. And I'm looking at it like, this is similar to some Liverpool fans when they scapegoat players. Oh, this player is bad. This is something that I am worried about.
Yeah. First of all, people in the chat saying we're paying half his wages. We're not. We're paying a third of his wages. Chelsea are paying 200k. We're paying 100k. Check it. But no, the on Martinelli, I think. Do you know what the frustration is? Because you're right. Like 90% of his game right now is very, very good. If Havertz scores that header, which got saved, you're looking at a really good assist. People look at his game differently. There was obviously the chance where he could have and should have squared it to Saka, or at least got a better shot away than he did. But I think the frustration for me, at least, comes more from the fact that I know he can be more clinical. Like, I know he has the ability to be more clinical than this. Like, there was a great example from last season. Really, really similar situation to the one where he was running in behind against Brighton. Buries it. No problem. And so I think that's the frustration. It's like, we know that Martinelli can be better. We know he could be more clinical. And I guess the kind of the pain of losing out so closely to City 2 years in a row is like, we know how fine the margins are. And so when you've got a player that you think should be doing better that isn't, then it's frustrating. But yeah, people that think we should sell him, or people that I see people just say, oh, he's just trash or he's not good. It's like, well, we've seen him. We know what he's capable of, and he's still only 23 years old. So you've got to give it time. But the question is, how much time do you give it? The issue is as well is that whenever
you know what the problem is, Rory, as you said, always the small margins, always they go City's favor. And I'm talking about City have a lot of clutch players that pop up. Like, who thought that Gundogan would pop up 2 seasons to win them the league? Yeah. Like, when Kevin De Bruyne is away, sometimes it's Foden, sometimes it's Rodri. So that is the thing. This is why I wanted Arsenal to have a better player up top to be that guy. As you said, how long can Arsenal wait for Martinelli? How long? Can we give it 10 games?
Yeah, that's
15.
The
it might be too late.
Yeah, but then so then what happens is Martinelli doesn't score. Trossard comes on as a sub. Trossard scores, and then there's pressure for Trossard to start the next game. And Trossard starts the next game, and
doesn't play well
because Trossard like, it's not a nice label to have, but he is a super sub. Trossard is always better off the bench, and no one wants to be that player, but he just is. Like, it happened. We've seen it happen like multiple times now. Trossard has a really good run of games coming off the bench, impacting the game, starts a game, anonymous. And I think part of it's his lack of athleticism. Like, he thrives when a right back has already been worn down by playing against Martinelli for 70 minutes. So, and then now you throw Sterling into that mix as well.
No, you throw Sterling, who is an up and down patchy player who isn't consistent. Yeah. That's why Nico Williams, someone like Nico Williams was the answer. I believe the Leroy Sané thing.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of people shit on Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané is a very good player. Arsenal will benefit massively from Leroy Sané. He is the closer thing to a star than anyone at Arsenal, bar Saka.
Yeah, I think injury issues.
I actually have this thing about Arsenal fans lately that, not you, but the majority of Arsenal fans on Twitter and in the chat, you are sometimes that guy as well. that you guys want, it's either the best or no.
Yeah.
Like, it's either I want the best guy. I don't want the better than what I have guy. I want the best. Like, for example, I want Isak or no. I'm not getting Osimhen. I want, it's either Nico Williams or nobody. And some even Arsenal fans said, oh, Nico Williams is not even that good. He is not even that good. We want Lamine Yamal type of winger. I'm like, what? But
yeah,
just win first and then talk about getting the Isaks. And not all fans, of course. I'm not saying every fan, because I've sat with people that said, I would take Osimhen, he's better than this. I would take Ivan Toney. I've sat with fans that said that before, you know. But I'm saying that Arsenal, when Man City got Doku wasn't, he's not even at this kind of moment, he's not even a superstar. Savinho is not a superstar. They make them superstar. Bukayo Saka was not a superstar. Rice was not a superstar.
I agree.
You improve them.
Yeah, especially in the case of wingers, I do think that's definitely fair. I think the striker one is just slightly different, because it's like, if you go and sign Tony and it doesn't work out and then you're stuck with him, and then the next striker is on the market next summer and you can't get them, I think that would be frustrating. Where there's like, the market for wingers is a lot bigger. The market for strikers just didn't feel that good this summer. If we'd got Sesko early in the window, I think it would have been good.
I don't think Sesko's that guy, actually, Roy.
No, but Sesko would have been one that you're then like, okay, but over the next 2 or 3 years, how does he develop? You'd have understood that was what you did. Whereas Tony, you get
don't
Tony,
need the
you're
2
like,
years, 3 years, Rory. You're not in the position to do 2 or 3 years. You are in the position to just do now.
Yeah, but who is, like, even if you're talking about Gyökeres, you're still talking about a guy who was in the Championship, has then had one phenomenal season at Sporting. Like, as much as I wanted him,
and he is playing. He's doing it now. He's proving everyone wrong. He's doing it today.
Yeah,
but today
he's immense. Yeah, but he could have just been Darwin Núñez, right?
But okay, here you go. Erling Haaland could have been Darwin Núñez. There is no come on. I say, you know, I say this all the time to people that say, but it could have been this. Again, we aren't gonna build conclusions. I'm a scientist, right? I have a degree in science. I'm a geophysicist. That's what I learned in life. You do not build conclusions based on the unpredictable. You build conclusions normally on the predictable things. You know, you put the equation 1 + 1 = 2, right? Or you put, I'm gonna put, like, this car is faster than this car. I'm gonna put the same exact driver here. This car is gonna be the faster one. Well, if an accident happens, if a flat tire, that is unpredictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most likely, you get a Gyökeres, you get an Osimhen, you get 20, 25 goals.
Yeah.
That is the thing. Like, people just think about it, but it can be, because if you think like that in football, you won't sign anyone. By the way, Nico Williams could have been a flop. All right.
I agree. That's why I wanted Gyökeres, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do think that we are probably still lacking, like, that guy that's just going to step up in, you know, when you're drawing 0-0 away at Crystal Palace with 5 minutes to go, and do you have that guy that's going to find the winner?
Yeah, I know. Raheem Sterling is going to be the guy. Raheem Sterling is going to be the guy. Listen, people, I'm going to do these super chats and then let you go. Bermuda going to say Arsenal defense clinic, Arsenal draw or win. I like the positivity. I like it. I live for positivity. I hope that Inter today. The problem is, I know that we aren't going to park the bus. So I don't know. It's going to be a Cherby, 67 years old versus Erling Haaland. That is what is going to happen today. But we'll see how it goes. Eddie is saying last season, Ederson didn't play that long ball. He did. He did it 2 seasons before, guys, against Arsenal as well in the 4-1 win. Arsenal pressed, and it was Erling Haaland when he laid it off and then got it again and scored. Arsenal, Haaland 3 times. Best team to ruin low blocks in world is City. We had Gavardio, Akanji as wingers last time. A lot of City fans are very confident that they're going to beat Arsenal this season, actually, and this game. I can't wait to see the game. I think it's going to be absolutely a boring and a horrific game, to be honest with you, to watch. I'm hoping it doesn't end in a draw. I just want someone to win, to be honest. I hope Arsenal will win. If City will win, it is what it is. But listen, guys, before I leave, there is something I need you all to do. There is 500 people here. It's not only that I want 300 likes. We're actually 20 likes away from 300, which would be magnificent. And I want to thank everyone that super chatted the channel, from Harold, of course, Marco, Eddie, Ghost Nation, Papa Beard, Bermuda Gunner, of course. Appreciate you guys, because you guys support the channel and support Footy JUDGEMO. But Rory's channel is in the description. You need to go and subscribe. You need to go. Rory Talks Football. He talks about everything, of course, about everything football, everything Arsenal as well. So if you're an Arsenal fan and you don't follow Rory, you absolutely have to follow him. Rory is on TikTok. Funny TikToks, brilliant TikToks. So you just go and follow Rory in TikTok, of course. His channel is amazing on TikTok. His channel on YouTube is great. We want to get him to 15K subs soon. So go and subscribe, people, because we want Rory to get there. Hit that like button. Blaze with super chat. A Chelsea fan. I love Blaze. Finally, I caught Rory on a live stream. I saw your post on Twitter saying Sterling is top 3 wingers in the league. Were you trolling or being real?
Yeah, I feel like there's a type of British humor that just doesn't come across. So obviously, I'm someone that hasn't rated Sterling over the last couple of years. So when it turns out that we're about to sign him, I'm like, realistically, he's top 3 wingers in the world. Like, obviously, it's a joke, but I feel like the joke just, yeah, there's just.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people. A lot of people think that when you tweet something, it's your opinion. Sometimes, like, Sterling is top 3 wingers.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
yes,
Blaze, here is your answer.
Joke.
It was a joke, Blaze. You got your answer, Blaze. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone that is here. This will take us to Football Terrace. Myself and HUSAM and Terry. That will be a good straight fact. We'll see you guys soon, and we are out of here, people.